Hello everyone. In this video, I am going to solve the question number 1 to question number 6 of exercise 11.2. So let's begin the class. Now question number 1. Which of the following are in inverse proportion? First is number of workers on a job and the time to complete the job. So you can see that if you are having more number of people to do the work, obviously it is going to take the less time to complete that work, right? So because if more number of workers mean you are having more manpower, so it will take less time to do the same job, right? So this is in inverse proportion. As number of workers increases, time taken to complete the job decreases. So both are inversely related to each other. Now second one, the time taken for a journey and the distance traveled in a uniform speed. Now if speed is uniform, means speed is constant throughout your journey, then if you have to cover more distance, more time will be required. So this is direct proportion. Now area of cultivated land and the crop harvested. So if you have more land, obviously the harvesting of crop will be more. So this is also direct proportion. The time taken for a fixed journey and the speed of the vehicle. So if you are driving with more speed, you will take less time to cover that journey. So here it is a case of inverse proportion. More speed, less time you will take. The population of a country and the area of land per person. So if population is more, then area of land for each person will be less. So here more population, less area of land per person. So this is also inverse proportion. Now moving to question number 2. In a television game show, the prize money of 1 lakh is to be divided equally amongst the winners. Complete the following table and find whether the prize money given to an individual winner is directly or inversely proportional to the number of winners. So see, prize money is fixed. Depending upon how many are winning, you have to divide this money equally. So if the number of winner is 1, the one person will get the complete amount, which is 1 lakh. If number of winner is 2, each person will get 50,000, isn't it? So if number of winners will be more and 4, 5, 8 and so on. So obviously the prize money received by each person will less because you have to divide the prize money equally. So here you can see as the number of winner is increasing, the prize money received by each winner is decreasing, isn't it? So it is a case of inverse proportion. If I'm assuming this as X and this as Y, you can see as X is increasing, Y is decreasing. Can you see here 1? When the number of winner was 1, it is 1 lakh. When it is 2, it is 50,000. But if you see the product of X and Y, 1 into 1 lakh is 1 lakh, 2 into 50,000 is 1 lakh. So here you can see the product of X and Y is constant. So I can say that as the number of winners will be more, prize given to each winner will be less. And as X increases, Y decreases. So it is in inverse proportion. And we know that if it is in inverse proportion, the product of X and Y will be constant. So from here I can write x1 y1 equal to x2 y2 equal to x3 y3 and so on. They all will be constant. And now you have to find the value of y3, y4, y5, y6 and y7, isn't it? So let's solve it. So to find the value of y3, I am going to write 4 into y3 will be equal to 2 into 50,000 because the product of x and y is constant. So from here I can get the value of y3 will be 2 into 50,000 divided by 4. And let's simplify 2 times 2 and then this will give me 25,000. So the value for y3 is 25,000. Now next we have to get the value for y4. So again I can write 5 into y4 is equal to 2 into 50,000. So the value of y4 will be 2 into 50,000 divided by 5. Now if I reduce it, 5 times 1, 5 times 10,000. So 2 into 10,000 means it will be 20,000. So this is the value for y3 and y4. Let's solve for y5 also. So from here I can write 8 into y5 is equal to 2 into 50,000. So the value of y5 will be equal to 2 into 50,000 divided by 8. So 2 times 4 is 8. and 4 times 12,500 will give me 50,000. So the answer is 12,500. Now next is we have to find the value for y6. So let's find the value of y6. So we can write 10 into y6 is equal to 2 into 50,000. So the value of y6 will be 2 into 50,000 divided by 10. So from here you will get 5 into 2 is 10. So 10,000. So the value of y6 is 10,000. Now the last one is 20 into y7 is equal to 2 into 50,000. So the value of y7 will be 2 into 50,000 divided by 20. So 1 0 1 0 cancel. 2 times 1 2 times 1. So y7 is 5,000. So if you can see, as the number of winners are increasing, the prize money received by each person is decreasing, isn't it? First it was 1 lakh, then it became 50,000. Then for Y3 it was 25,000, then 20,000, now then 12,500, then 10,000, and at the end it is 5,000. So you can see, as the number of winners are increasing, the prize received by each winner is decreasing. So they are inversely related to each other. Okay. Now question number 3. Rahman is making a wheel using spokes. He wants to fix equal spokes in such a way that the angle between any pair of consecutive spokes are equal. Help him by completing the following table. So this is the wheel. Now in the first case, he has kept 4 spokes, and you can see the angle between them is 90° here. These all the angles are 90°, isn't it? Now if you see the next one, and in the next one where the number of spokes are 6, so the angle between the spokes is 60°. Each is 60, 60 and all. Next, he has kept 8 spokes. So you have to find what will be the angle between the pair of consecutive spokes. Then same way you have to find for 10 and 12. So if you see from the table here, as the number of spokes increased, the angle between the pair of consecutive spokes decrease, isn't it? From 4 to 6, number of spokes increase, but the angle decrease from 90° to 60°. So I can say they are inversely related to each other, because as one is increasing, the other is decreasing. Moreover, if you find the product of x and y, if you consider as number of spokes as x and the angle between them as y. Now if you multiply it, x and y, you will get 4 into 90° equal to 4 into 90 is 360. Here also 6 into 60 is 360. So I can say that they are in inverse proportion. So as the number of spokes increases, angle between a pair of consecutive spokes decreases. So they are in inverse proportion. And in inverse proportion, the product of x and y will remain constant. So like that, I am going to find the value of now y3, y4 and y5. So I can write from here 8 into y3 will be equal to 6 into 60°. So my y3 will be 6 into 60° divided by 8. Now reduce it. So if you are going to reduce it from here, 2 4s are 8, 2 3s are 6, and then 4 times 15. So here you will get 45°. So the value of y3 is 45°. Now next, let's find the value for y4. So again I can write 10 into y4 will be equal to 6 into 60°. So the value of y4 will be 6 into 60° divided by 10. And I can cancel out 1 0. So 6 into 6 will give me 36°. So the angle between them will be 36°. Now the last one is 12 into y5 will be equal to 6 into 60°. So the value of y5 will be 6 into 60° divided by 12. And 6 times 1, 6 times 2, and 2 times 30. So the answer for y6 is 30°. So the value of y3 we got as 45°, value of y4 is 36 degree and value of y5 as 30 degree. So you can see as the number of spokes are increasing from 4 to 6, 6 to 8, 8 to 10 and 10 to 12, the angle between the pair of consecutive spokes are decreasing. First it was 90 degree, then 60 degree, then 45 degree, then 36 degree and then 30 degree. So here the question says, are the number of spokes and the angle formed between the pair of consecutive spokes in inverse proportion? So the answer is yes. Okay, so you can write from here, yes, they are in inverse proportion because one is increasing, other is decreasing, isn't it? So they are in inverse proportion. Now it has two more part of this question. Let's solve that. Now in the second part of the question, you have to calculate the angle between a pair of consecutive spokes on a wheel with 15 spokes. I have already seen that number of spokes and angle between the pair of consecutive spokes, they are in inverse proportion, right? Just now I have discussed in the previous part. So what I'm going to do, I will assume the angle between a pair of consecutive spokes be y6 when the number of spokes is 15. And as they are in inverse proportion, the product of x and y will be constant. So from here I can write 15 into y6 is equal to 6 into 60 degree. And the value of y6 will be 6 into 60 degree divided by 15. So 15 times 4. So from here I will get 6 into 4 equal to 24 degree. The next part, how many spokes would be needed if the angle between a pair of consecutive spokes is 40 degrees? So here angle between the consecutive spokes is given. You have to find the number of spokes. So let's assume the required number of spokes needed be x7, and as they are in inverse proportion, so I can write from here x7 into 40 degree is equal to 6 into 60 degree. So the value of x7 will be 6 into 60 degree divided by 40 degree. So 0 and 0 cancel, 2 3s are 6, 2 2s are 4, again 2 times 1, 2 times 3, so 3 into 3, 9. So the number of spokes will be 9, then the angle between the consecutive pair of the spoke will be 40 degree. So this is your question number 3. Question number 4. If a box of sweets is divided among 24 children, they will get 5 sweets each. How many would each get if the number of children is reduced by 4? So earlier there were 24 children. If you reduce by 4 means 20 children, how many sweets they will get? So let's tabulate the data. So if number of children are 24, they are getting 5 sweets and the sweets are equally divided, right? So if you decrease the number of students, so obviously each student will get more number of sweets because now number of children are less. So each will get more sweets. So you can say that this is a case of inverse proportion because as number of children is decreasing, the number of sweets received by each student is increasing, isn't it? So I can write as the number of children decreases, number of sweets received by each student will increase. So from here I can write as x decreases, y increases. So it is inverse proportion. And in inverse proportion, the product of x and y will remain constant. So from here I can write x1, y1 equal to x2, y2. This should come as a constant. So from here I can write 24 into 5 will be equal to 20 into y2. And the value of y2 will be 20. I am transposing to the other side. So it will become 24 into 5 by 20. So 5 times 4 is 20 and 4 times 6 is 24. So the answer is 6. So each student will receive 6 sweets. Question number 5. A farmer has enough food to feed 20 animals in his cattle for 6 days. How long would the food last if there were 10 more animals in his cattle? So initially he was having 20 animals and the food was sufficient for 6 days. Now 10 more animals joined in the cattle group. So now 20 plus 10, 30 animals. Then how long the food will last? So let's tabulate the data. So if number of animals are 20, food will last for 6 days. So if now number of animals increase to 30 because it is given that 10 more animals joined. So 20 plus 10 is 30. So you have to find how many days the food will last. So obviously if there are more number of animal, they all will eat the food, right? So the whatever food stock is there, because food stock they are not increasing. The same food they are giving to same, the quantity of food which they have kept in the beginning, that is constant. They are not increasing the food, isn't it? So the same food will distributed among the 30 animals only also. So what will happen? The number of days the food will last, that will decrease because there are more number of animals. So again it is a case of inverse proportion. As number of animal increases, the food will last early. So as x increases, y decreases. So it is in inverse proportion. And we know that in inverse proportion, the product of x and y will be constant. So from here I can write x1 y1 equal to x2 y2, that will be equal to k. K is a constant. So now I can write 20 into 6. Your x1 is 20. This is your x1. This is your y1. This is your x2 and this is your y2. So 20 into 6 equal to 30 into y2. So the value of y2 will be, I am transposing 30 to the other side. So it will become 20 by 6 divided by 30. Now 1 0 1 0 cancel. 3 times 1 3 times 2. So 4. So the food will last for 4 days if the number of animals are 30. Now question number 6. A contractor estimates that 3 persons could rewire Jasminder's house in 4 days. If he uses 4 persons instead of 3, how long should they take to complete the job? So now this question is also similar to previous question. So what you can do, you pause your video, solve by yourself, and then you cross check your answer. So here it is given that there are 3 persons in the beginning and those 3 persons will take 4 days to rewire the Jasminder's house. Now if instead of 3 persons there is 4 persons, then how much time, how many days they will take to complete the job. So you from here you can see as number of people are more, they will get more manpower, right? They will have they will get more helping hand, so the number of days it will be reduced, isn't it? So again this is a case of inverse proportion. So as number of person increases, it will take less days to complete the job because job is same, they're not increasing or decreasing the job. So as x increases, y decreases, so it is in inverse proportion, and we know that when it is in inverse proportion, the product of x and y will be a constant. So x1 y1 equal to x2 y2 is equal to constant k. So from here I can write 3 into 4 is equal to 4 into y2. So the value of y2 will be, I'm transposing 4 to the other side. So 3 into 4 divided by 4. 4 and 4 cancel. So it will take 3 days to complete the job. So that's all for today's class. So in this video I have covered question number 1 to question number 6. Now in my next video I will be covering the rest of the questions. So please practice the questions, solve the example sums also. Now whatever question is left out, try to solve by yourself because for all the question concept is same. You have to just make a proper table, just see the relation properly whether it is a direct or inverse, and accordingly you have to solve the questions. And till now if anybody did not subscribe my channel, please subscribe my channel and share with your friends also. Thank you.